I've been using this Cuisinart conical burr grinder for several years and very successfully. I like it a lot. Works fine, but I do find from time to time I start getting this flashing light on the top, and that indicates that the grind or the grounds bin isn't inserted properly. When you do put it in all the way, it should simply stop flashing and the machine works. When it's not inserted all the way, it starts flashing and you can't operate it. I got to a point where I couldn't do anything. I would slam it in, I would press it, I would hold it, I would jiggle it. I couldn't get the thing to stop flashing. So I just took it all apart, and I thought I'd do a video on what I did because it immediately started working. I'll explain how it works in very simple terms. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you've done everything that I do already, which is you've got to clean the grounds that fall out of the upper compartment. Clean all that out because you can't shove the grounds bin in all the way. But the real problem here is right down here. I'll zoom in a little bit. You can't really see it too well, but if you take a toothpick, you can push in right here and you'll hear a little click. I've just got a toothpick and you'll listen for the click. You can hear that. What happens is when you put the grounds bin in, that little plastic piece in the back it slides into that slot and it presses that little piece of plastic that connects a metal circuit inside, and that allows tells the machine that, hey, the grounds bin is in place and grind away. I think my problem was that inside here the mechanism had just become, I think, maybe a little dislodged or maybe a little gummed up, and I just took it all apart, cleaned it. The only tool you need is a Phillips head screwdriver. A small head, the screws are quite small. Goes without saying, but remove all the coffee beans out of the hopper on the top. You don't need to take the plastic hopper off. Just turn it upside down. And there's a small plate in here. Looks like the Big Dipper, the constellation. Just remove those 5 screws. All right, the lid's off. And I'm just going to use this toothpick and recreate how the bin, the hot coffee bin would work. So you'll see the toothpick go in. The toothpick would be the equivalent to the plastic tab on the bottom of the bin. And it slides this little plastic piece forward. You can see a spring there in the back, or right in the middle of the screen. And it depresses, you can see I'll put it right in the middle of the screen, that metal tab, which I'll show you in a bit. But that metal tab clicks. That click is the creation of an electrical connection, a circuit, and basically that makes the machine ready to go. When it's not depressed like that, that will cause the digital readout to flash. So, all right. So what I did, I just took all these parts out and just put them all back in. There wasn't any need to clean them or anything. So I'll use a toothpick here. The little plastic part just comes right out. I'll just poke it from below with this toothpick. There it comes out, and then in there is a very small spring, and be very careful with that spring. Super small, super light, and it's easy to get lost. I haven't lost it yet, but it's been easy. And I'll use this toothpick just to pull it out. Actually, a toothpick would be a good place to keep this thing. All right, so there it is on the toothpick, and you could clean it off if you want to, not necessary, I don't think. What I would then do is the inside, this is all exposed now, so I would clean that out as best you can. Let me get rid of this piece, get it out of the way. And that little plastic clicker, I'll lift this up. It's not screwed in or anything. There are just 2 little prongs. I'll use a screwdriver just to lift it up. It's laying in place. With 2 prongs. There it comes up, and that's the clicker, whatever you want to call it, that creates the circuit. Okay, that's the little piece of metal. I don't think you need to do anything with this, although, you know what, it's not a bad idea to pull this out and just give it a wipe down to make sure that there's no coffee that is preventing the connection. All right, so I just used a cloth to clean this out as best I can. So I've got the spring laying back in there. And just to be clear, so this part actually has a little round bit. That bit, the round, whatever you want to call it, fits on top of the above and behind the spring. You want to just put it in so that it ends up looking like kind of like that, but you want to slide it in from the front and compress the spring. I'll do that right now. So there it is back in place. So I slid this plastic, call it a plunger, and compressed the spring. Then I made sure that there's a little tip that comes off of the plunger, and that is used to depress that little metal tab and to create the circuit. So make sure that works. Okay, looks good to me. And then just put the top lid back on, screw it in, and then let's see if it works. All right, I know it's going to work because it was working before, but there you hear the click. You hear the click? That's that little metal tab being connected to the circuit. And it should work for you. If it doesn't, I got nothing for you. Sorry. Good luck, everybody.